Hey guys, and welcome back to WaverlyReads. Today it is finally, I feel like I've been putting this off for like days, but it's my June wrap up. Half the year has officially already gone and I now have the next half of the year to go. I did reach 50 books before half the year and my goal for it is 100 books for the end of the year, so I think I might just be able to do it. I lower my reading goal down to 80 on Goodreads because I got really scared and, you know, backtracked a bit because I got into a slump and it was difficult. Hopefully with no more slumps for the rest of the year I can get to 100 books. Anyway, without further ado, let's go into what I've read in the month of June. The first book I read I'm feeling kind of guilty about, and that is Wings by April and Pike. I know I not long ago read this just before the end of last year. I don't know, I had the sudden urge to read it again. So I thought, fuck it, and I did. And I loved it even more. I don't see how I can love this book more every single time I read it, but I do. It got 4 for writing quality, 5 for characters, 4.5 for storyline, 5 for readability, and 4.5 for the ending. All in all, getting a 4.6 star out of 5. Amazing. I love this book. If you haven't read it, a lot of people haven't. Not many people know of it, but it is amazing. I swear you will love it if you give it a try. Go try it and go read it because it's amazing. Next 2 books are books I said that I'm never going to read just because it really doesn't interest me, and that is the first 2 books in the Lemony Snicket saga series, The Bad Beginning and The Reptile Room. It's not that I had anything against these books, it's just I'm not one that really goes for very childish books, and these look very childish. But picking them up, I've actually really liked them. The Bad Beginning got a 4 star for writing quality, 3.5 star for characters, 3 star for storyline, 5 for readability, and a 3.5 for the ending. Not the best book in the world, but you know, I really like the writing style in this. It's got so many different knacks, and it's so easy to read. It's so quick and easy to read. I find them really fun and entertaining, and I never thought I would. The Reptile Room got a 4 for writing quality, a 4 for storyline, 3.5 for characters, 5 for readability, and 3.5 for the ending. I liked this book more. There was more likeable characters in it, and the storyline was a little bit better than the first one, I think anyway. Maybe that's just because I'm like into all the reptile-y stuff. I didn't know I was, but apparently I am. The next book I read was Neferet's Curse by PC and Kristen Cass. I know I said I'm not going to continue with the Mark series, the House of Night series. I'm still not going to do that, but I do want to read the companion novels because as much as I say how much I don't want to continue the House of Night series, I still do love it. It's an amazing series, and if it wasn't for the fact that Zoe is just all over the place with who she wants to be with, and she's just not very good at making decisions, and she cheats, and I don't agree with that, so I stopped reading the series. But I still do love it. I love the aspect of it. It's amazing. And this was basically a diary, but she says it's not a diary, she calls it a journal, and it's based on Neferet when she was still a child. I don't know why, but I absolutely love the writing quality for this. As you can see, it got 5. I loved it. It was written very old-fashioned, but in a good way. Like, it totally felt like I was in the 1800s. When is it? 1893. It totally felt like it, because it's so old-fashioned. Like, it was amazing. A 4 for the characters, a 3.5 for the storyline. There really isn't that much to the storyline here, other than the fact that she's abused by her dad and she's trying to get out, and then obviously she ends up a vampire. Spoiler alert. I got a 4.5 for the readability. I read it really quickly, apart from the fact that it felt like I wasn't getting very far with it. And the ending got a 5. I obviously knew the ending, but I liked it. I liked how she became a new person. I really liked this book. And then I read the 3rd and 4th book to the Lemony Snicket saga, The Wide Window, which I think is the 3rd one, yep, and The Miserable Mill by Lemony Snicket, obviously. So the 3rd book first, The Wide Window, I loved a lot. It's got a lot about grammar and stuff in it, and I'm really into that stuff. Being a writer myself, I really enjoyed this. Got a 4 for the writing quality, though it is growing on me and I kind of want to up it because it's amazing. I love the writing style to this. 3.5 for the characters. Characters were kind of bland and boring. 3.5 for the storyline, 5 for readability, and a 3.5 for the ending. And then the 4th book, which is The Miserable Mill, is again just the same thing. Got a 4 for writing quality, a 4 for the characters. I loved the characters in this one. It really reminded me of some of the characters from Of Mice and Men, and I loved Of Mice and Men, so I really did like the characters in this one. I got a 2.5 for the storyline. The storyline was so bland. I absolutely hated the storyline in this one. It's probably my least favourite so far. In fact, it is my least favourite so far, but anyway. 5 for readability, again just so fast, so easy to read, and then a 3.5 for the ending. The endings are pretty weak and predictable with these books, but I mean, there's like no else. And then overall it got 3.8 stars out of 5. And then the last book I read this month was for the book Wormily Book of the Month, and that was Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth. Let me tell you, I was freaking terrified going into this book because of how much I love Veronica Roth. I love Veronica Roth. I love her writing. I love the Divergent trilogy so much that I was very skeptical to go into this book because I was afraid I wasn't going to like it as much, because sci-fi isn't something I would usually reach for in general. But it's Veronica Roth. I had to read this and I was scared. There's also a lot of controversy around this book about it being racist. The whole controversy around this is because the bad guys are black. But then again, so is Sarah, and she is not a bad character. No, I don't really see Sarah as a bad character. Me and Tegan will be doing a live show on this book at some point. Right now we're both really busy, so we haven't done it yet, so it might be postponed to the end of July. I don't know when we're going to be doing it. I'll let you know if I find out before it happens. But yeah, we will be doing a live show on this, so keep a lookout for that. I'll also post the video on my channel if you miss it. If you've read this book, please come along and join us. I will say I don't prefer this over Divergent, but I really did love this book a lot. I got a 4.5 for the writing quality. It was so good. It's very dense book, but she writes it very well. She's very descriptive and poetic sometimes. She's just really good at putting emotion into her characters. It would have got a 5-star if it wasn't for the fact that she bounced back point of views between Sarah and Akos, and Akos's characters were in third person point of view and then Sarah's characters were in first person point of view, and that really confused me and tripped me off because I'm not one that will really read third person point of views. But to be fair, I liked the fact she did that. It gave them a different voice, which we all know she wasn't that good at in Allegiant. Characters got 4 stars. I loved so many of the characters in this. There was some that was just kind of like, okay, you exist. There was some that was like, really, you exist? And then there's like, oh, I'm so glad you exist. Storyline got a 4.5 stars out of 5. I can't explain the storyline to save my life, but I fucking loved it so much, so much. I can't wait for the next book. I can't believe I have to wait for the next book. It got a 4 for readability and then a 4 for the ending, overall getting a 4.2 stars out of 5, and it was probably my favourite book of the month, and that's including Wings. So these are the 7 books that I read this month. Let me know what you read down below, or if you read any of these books and what you thought. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below what your favourite book that you read in the month of June was. Subscribe if you haven't already. I love you all so much, to infinity and beyond. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. My name is Waverly, and now I'm off to read. Bye!